Hello, you amazing friends. Welcome to our Boss Ladies Summit for July 2023. We have got amazing Belinda Paris and Christina Neighbour with us. Big wave to Belinda Paris and Christina. Let's just say quickly, if you've just tuned in, we've got a great summit for you today. We're going to be talking about you are who you surround yourself with. Great topic, especially in relation to women's empowerment. We've got a great group of panelists, but we've got Christina and Belinda with us first. Christina, did you want to say a quick hello before we rolled over to Belinda?
Hello. Very nice to meet you all. Thank you for attending and looking forward to today and celebrating Lassie's birthday as well.
Yes, it's Lassie's birthday today as well, so don't forget about that. We love it. And we've got Belinda Paris with us. How you doing, Belinda? What's happening in your world, Belinda?
I am doing very well, and obviously a very happy birthday to Lassie. I'm doing great. Yeah, and I'm really excited for this topic. It's something that's I think is extremely important.
Oh, I love it. And speaking of important, we've had Simone Lord join us. Simone Lord, how you doing, my friend? We're streaming everywhere.
Good morning. It is nice to be here from Sydney in Australia. Just finished feeding the fam breakfast, made waffles this morning. So that's pretty interesting. Hopefully I can get through the hour without interruptions because they have full tummies and devices. So here's going.
I guarantee you, Simone, that won't happen, but it's awesome. We love interruptions around here. It's the way we roll. We're managed chaos is what we are. Which is a pleasure. And I just want to say big welcome to our viewers. We've got Richard Bryce tuning in. If you've just tuned in, smash that like, share, and comment. If you are watching the recording, please share it as well. And make sure you connect with our panelists. We've got Christina Neighbour, Belinda Paris, and Simone Lord with us. And I'm very excited. Now, today's topic is you are who you surround yourself with. And I'm just going to do a quick opening monologue to set the tone. If I think of the worst times in my life, I was surrounded by terrible, toxic people. If I think of the best times of my life, which is actually right now, I'm surrounded by amazing people such as Christina Neighbour, Belinda Paris, and Simone Lord, and more. So this is, to me, how I'm going to open it up, because to me, there's two sides to this. You have bad people and good people, all right? Good people take you there, bad people don't. And you got to make sure that you're not one of the bad people either, because I've certainly had some bad habits in my life. So to open this topic, let's go over to Christina Neighbour. Christina, tell us what you think about the whole topic of you are who you surround yourself with.
Well, it's very interesting. I was just thinking about this the other day, Ed, and for so many years, I didn't realize that the people I surround myself with are a reflection of myself. And I really believe that we need to take a lot of care into who we surround ourselves with, because it's a reflection of us.
Oh, so well said. And friends, we've just had Karen Clark come in. Can we all wave to Karen Clark? Karen Clark, you want to say a real quick hello before we hit up Belinda Paris?
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Lovely to be here. Lovely to see you. Looking forward to the rest of the morning.
Oh, love your work, Karen Clark. And Belinda Paris, tell us what you think about the whole topic of you are who you surround yourself with.
I think it's just that cliche. You are the sum of the five people you spend most of your time with. So for me, that would probably include animals. But if I look through the periods of my life, I'm lucky now that I have such an amazing, supportive group of friends and mentors that are around me now, who constantly uplift me. And so I love what Christina said. You're a reflection of the people that you spend, that you have around you. So if I'm a reflection of them, then hopefully that means I'm a great person, because the people I have in my life are very uplifting and very much support me, pull me into line when I need to be, but definitely are the supportive and types of people that I want to be around now.
Oh, just brilliant. Well said, Belinda Paris. I so love it. Let's hear from amazing Simone Lord. Tell us what you think.
Oh, I just want to echo exactly what Christina and Belinda said. It is a reflection of us, the people that we're around, and it is about the sum of our top five, as Jim Collins says. So it's really important in both a personal and a professional context to be doing that. The tricky part is when it comes to your family, and when the family is people. And I know you're going to put this twist in there, Ed, because you've always got the dark side going. So
Yes.
I look forward to flipping this into when it's a little bit trickier to control the sum of your 5, or if you have really terrible children, it's really hard to get away from them. But
Your children are awesome. That's a general comment. It does not relate to Sperm Lord's children.
Yeah, it is a little bit trickier when it comes to family. And I'm sure we're going to dive into that as we get through our topic today. But yeah, it's all about choices. And you always have a choice, ultimately. Even when you think that you don't, you always do. So you've got to make the choice.
Oh, brilliant. I just want to say hello. I've got our LinkedIn live up. We've got Amanda Tremlett list. Big welcome to Amanda Tremlett. We've got Richard Bryce. We've got Catherine. If you just come in, smash that like, share, and comment, and make sure you say hello. If you've got any questions, you throw them in the chat. We'll put them in there. And I'm really happy because if you ladies are a reflection of who I am, I love it. Karen Clark, tell us all about this topic. You are who you surround yourself with.
Yes, absolutely agree with the ladies. And also to remember that what you said, Simone, we do have a choice. So if we find that we've got someone in our life that we're not so attracted to in many, many ways because of reasons that we don't think are good for us, then we have a choice to actually, we don't have to dump them, but we can definitely minimize our contact with them. And I just think also it's not only to remember, it's not just who we surround ourselves that give to us, but we also affect other people when we interact. So we're having an influence on other people with their circle of people. So remember that.
Well said. We've got Russell Luna with us. Happy birthday, Lessing. It is a blessing to you. We love you, Russell Luna. And we're going to say we love you, winners. And Amanda says as well, I have nothing to do with my family except my mum. I totally hear you. Now, like all things, we're going to go to the darker side of things. But I just noticed we've got Loretta Remy with us. Can we all wave to Loretta Remy? How you doing, Loretta Remy?
Hi.
Now we love Loretta Remy.
Wonderful.
Oh, Loretta, love seeing you. Loretta, did you want to say a quick hello and tell us what you think about the topic of you are who you surround yourself with, Loretta Remy?
I am doing well today. I just finished an event, so I'm sitting in my car in a McDonald's parking lot, just to be with you guys. But yes, you truly are who you surround yourself with, and the people you surround yourself with make you who you are. So there's a thought.
Yeah, and what are you going to get for McDonald's? Are you going to get a Big Mac or a quarter pounder? What are you into, Loretta?
I just had a cheeseburger and some French fries.
Oh, now, interestingly, it's only 8:08 a.m. in the morning here, but because of you, I want a Big Mac and a fries right now. A Big Mac, large fries right now. And I know you can't do it anymore, but if I could supersize, I would so supersize now.
I was trying to figure out where I could park so I could get on the thing, and I was really starving because it was too hot outside today. It was like in the 90s to want to eat anything while I was out there. But then I realized I was really hungry. So I said, well, this will kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So cheeseburger and fries, and now I'm with you.
I'm with you. Cheeseburger and fries and women's empowerment. That is a meal that I'll buy any day of the week. There we go. Love it. Love it. Now, we're going to take things in a bit of a darker direction. As Simone Lord knows you well, we always go, whenever Ed's around, we always start off with a bit of darkness. We're going to talk about the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is toxic people, obviously, right? Life goes well when we're surrounded by great people, but it's when those bad people come into our life, right? They're the problems. We all know that, right? And Simone Lord and I had this conversation. They can be family members, right? They can be work colleagues. It can be complex situations. I want to focus a little bit on toxic people. What does it mean to you, and how do we deal with toxic people? And we're going to start with Christina Nava. Christina, what do you think on this one, my friend?
Toxic people, just they're not aligned in our values. If we're someone that holds on to our values and our ethics, toxicity should not be infiltrated in our lives. And
my next question for you, that one, Christina, let's say someone is someone you're working with or someone that's really close to you and you can't get rid of them easily. How would you deal with that one, Christina?
Well, I'm kind of dealing with that one right now because I'm married to one. So, unfortunately, so this subject is pretty near and dear to my heart. Actually, and all funniness aside, he's extremely toxic, and we have children. 3, I have an 8-year-old. So, that's what makes it even trickier and harder to leave that situation.
Oh, Christina, thank you for joining us in the thick of battle. Can we get it for Christina? I love you. You're an amazing woman. There you go. Incredible. Belinda Paris, toxic people. Tell us what you think about this one.
I'm actually quite lucky. I managed to remove most of the toxic people out of my life. And sorry if I'm running a bit slow. I'm in rural Tasmania at the moment, so my internet might be a little bit slow catching up with me. But I have to admit, I am quite ruthless when it comes to keeping people out of my life that aren't aligned with who I am and where I want to go now. I keep my circle very, very, very close and tight. And, I'm very fortunate. I've got a supportive a family, especially my mum and dad. And a supportive group of friends. But yeah, those toxic people could be people who lead you back to the path that you had previously been on. So I noticed for myself recently, I rekindled something with someone who I knew instinctively wasn't the right person, and wasn't on the same track as me. And for someone who doesn't drink, I found myself going back into that drinking culture, and I was like, no, this isn't the with the space I want to be in. I've got too much that I want to achieve. So, I removed myself from that situation and just chose to end things. And as difficult as it was looking at what was important to my values and what was aligned to me. And I walked away.
Oh, powerful, Belinda. I love it. Round of applause to you, Belinda. That's incredible. And Simone Lord is the ultimate at dealing with toxic family members. Simone Lord, toxic people. Over to you, Simone Lord.
Yeah, I think, the key in all of this is actually awareness. Because once you're aware that someone is displaying toxic behavior, you can then decide what you're going to do about that. But it generally all starts when you're not quite aware of what's happening. You don't really see those little things grinding on you, whether it's the person who's always complaining about something and just feels like it's draining your energy, or whether it's a family member or a partner who's, not quite doing the right things, or you just feel it's going against your values. Until you really break through that awareness piece, you're stuck in the hamster wheel of it all happening with you included. But once you're aware, then you can sort of pull yourself away from that and make your active choices on how you're going to navigate the situation.
Oh, brilliant. And I think well said, Simone. And quite often toxic people don't walk up to you and say, I'm toxic. Some of them, they reveal themselves over the time. In fact, some of them can be quite charming at the start, can't they, Simone Lord?
Yeah, absolutely. Some people, and I actually would say a fair majority of people don't actually realize that they are toxic. They're just doing their own thing, right? And they're doing what they believe is their best life or how they want to live it. But they don't realize how they're actually having that ripple effect into their friends, family, and community. So it's one of those things, again, just understanding that this is not someone I want to surround myself with. And I'm in a similar situation with a lot of people, what they talked about with family members. I haven't spoken to my brother in 2 years. And it's only him and I, and we were very, very close growing up. So it's been very challenging for our family to understand that we've put in those boundaries, that this is not okay, and we will not be bringing our family into that. So as challenging as that is, it's very empowering to put in that boundary and say, no, it's not acceptable, and I don't want that toxicity in my life.
Oh, Brilliant. Well said, Simone Lord. As I want to check in with our audience, we've got Jonesy King with us. Jonesy King, good seeing you. We've got Taki Razar. Welcome, Taki. And we've also got Adam Duval. And we've got a huge gang of you watching. So if you're here live, I just want to say thank you. Smash that like, share, and comment. In fact, tell us where you're from. Tell us where you're coming in from, because we want to learn more about you winners. And make sure you connect with these amazing boss ladies. And remember, it's Lassie's birthday today as well. Karen Clark, tell us all about toxic people.
Yeah, very interesting. All of you have come from a different aspect. So what I want to do is to, add to what you've said, Simone. I totally agree that it's about our boundaries and it's about being aware. So it took me back to when my children were really little, because of course toxic people appear in kids' lives as well. And I think it starts there and we learn how to deal with it or not. And so I'm pretty tough. If I if I have someone who's toxic or what's the other word, narcissistic, I usually jump on it straight away. And so in that situation, I don't get so much toxicity, even if I have to be in that relationship. And what I noticed is I've got twin girls, and when they were little, one of them got a lot of toxic people, a lot of users in her life, a lot of abusers in her life, because she wanted people to like her. And when we want people to like us, and perhaps we don't have a level of confidence, then we allow, for one thing, toxic people see it, and they seem to be attracted to people who want to be liked and who are able to be bullied. And so she got bullied most of her life until she started to put up her boundaries. And these were friends. These were people who she actually decided were friends, and they had friendships, and yet they would bully her and abuse her and take advantage of her. So I think it is totally about aware to some extent. Obviously, some people are so toxic that it doesn't matter what you do. If you allow them to stay in your life, then you're going to have a problem. But there are other people who have these kind of narcissistic or toxic behaviors or bullying behaviors that you may well be able to have a reasonably good relationship with if we put our own boundaries up and say, I'm not going to put up with that. You can be like that however much you want on your own, but when you're with me, don't treat me like that.
Yeah, wow. Well said. I love it. And we got Sonia Budrow coming in soon. Sonia, we love your work. Sonia is coming in soon and can't wait to see you. And oh my God, Loretta Remy, tell us what you think on this great topic before you enjoy your Sunday, which I'm very jealous of.
So I think the biggest thing is awareness, like the previous ladies had said. We have to be aware of it, and once we're aware of it, we have to stay away from it. And like one of the examples I was thinking of is I hope right now I have no toxic people in my life, but I have in the past. But I remember back here in the States, back 7-8 years ago, there was a presidential election that was very heated, and even 4 years ago, very heated presidential election where really things got divided. And there was a lot of things going on like social media and Facebook and everything. And there was friends of mine that just kept getting sucked into it, and I just wouldn't let myself do it. Somebody would make a comment and they'd have to comment back. And next thing you know, there was a tit for tat, like war going on in Facebook and everything. And it just got them all riled up and everything. And it did nothing positive for them. And nobody won the argument anyway. So I was like, I tried to tell my friends, just scroll past it and stay away from it. But, definitely, once you're aware, you have to make sure you don't let it, creep in, because toxic people can suck you in and everything. So you have to make sure that you stay at bay from those people and everything, and just say, no, you have to stay away, whether you physically tell them or just make sure you put those boundaries in place that they're not around you.
Oh, well said. I couldn't agree with you more. And I'm going to have a shot at the media now. The media is non-stop trying to rope us into toxic behavior, aren't they? Like, it's all just pumping toxic, isn't it? Oh,
Hmm. Yeah.
incredible.
Oh, definitely.
Agree
Incredible.
100%.
Everybody wants to be right.
And I just have to say this very quickly. Loretta, you live like down the road from Mar-a-Lago, don't you? Literally down the road. Is that correct, Loretta?
Yep, probably about maybe about 3-4 miles.
Oh, I just had to bring that up. You know I was going to bring that up, Loretta. There we go. Loretta, love your work. Just incredible. Down the road from Orange Man. There you go. Love it. Amazing. Now we've got Master Coach Sonia with us. Now, I love Master Coach Sonia. She is awesome. And I've got a little bit of a problem. I've got one of our little kids trying to break into our room. So what I'm going to do is Master Coach Sonia, please say hello. And tell us what you think about You Are Who You Surround Yourself By. And I got to disappear for a second because I like Simone Lordstow, I got a little kid trying to break into the room. So, Master Coach Sonia, give us a monologue on You Are Who You Surround Yourself With, and I'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. I believe in this life. You know, it's too short, and if you want to have a positive mindset and make positive progress and go forward in life, you want to, you know, surround yourself with people that you aspire to be like, and also positive or people who will also, you know, help you or mentor you, coach you, because every single day there might be a moment that we may need that extra encouragement or empowerment, and and I know that when I was in high school, you know, girls, you had to be really careful what you did because you didn't want to get the reputation. And so I remember some of the kids I started hanging out with because I was an athlete and I was always around, you know, the people that I competed with or practiced with. And then there's this one girl that moved to my school that she looked just like Joan Jett. If you guys know who she is, you know, I Love Rock and Roll song. And she was really cool looking, you know, kind of like the female version of James Dean. You know, she was just, you know, we hit it off and we started becoming friends. And then, you know, one day I was on the bus. We were going to go. I was in foreign language club, and we went to eat at Chi-Chi's, this Mexican restaurant. And one of the seniors who I adored came on the bus, and he called me a pothead. And I'm like, I am not a pothead. But the girl I was with, that's what her reputation was. And I thought, that's it. I am not going to surround myself with people where I'm getting a bad rap because of who they are. So I learned early on that you want to surround yourself with the right people so that way you can move forward. And I've lived that or had that philosophy my whole life.
Just incredible, Master Coach Sonia. And you are so not a pothead. I can't believe anyone would even say that. You're like, there we go. Now, friends, I just want to say, if you just come in, smash that like, share, and comment. We had a great audience today. Got a full house. And we've just had Georgina Orchard come in. We love you, Georgina Orchard. Georgina Orchard, please say hello and tell us what you think on the topic of You Are Who You Surround Yourself With.
Good morning, everyone. I apologise for my lateness. Yes, I think I learned early on that it's really important to surround the people that support you, because you can surround yourself with, you know, when you're young, you feel like you need to be with the popular people because they're the people that everyone likes, but really, ideally, it's the real people that really support you that you need to be around. That I have this sort of this story from primary school, I guess, that I went to primary school. I started primary school when I was in year 4 at school because I was doing correspondence school. And I knew a few kids from the pony camp, and I thought, oh, hanging out with those. But they were the part of the popular group, and really, and it was all about the show. Whereas really, then I soon learned that there was kind of a real bunch of people that I could hang out with, and they were real, they were funny, they were genuine, and I guess that was a lesson early on in life. So, and I think that is kind of true to today. So, but
Well
then,
said.
you know, yeah, but then you also want to hang out with people that lift you up, I think. And also, you know, if you're an intelligent person and you want to have genuine conversations, then you need to be around people that are like that as well, that will move you forward.
Georgina, can we get up for Georgina? Love your work, Georgina. Just incredible. I want to give a hello to our audience. You've just come in, like, share, comment. We have got a few more winners with us. And I just want to say, if you come in, make sure you connect with Christina Nava, Belinda Paris, Loretta Remy, Karen Clark, Simone Law, Musk Coach, Sonia, Georgina Orchard. And don't you forget, it is Lassie's birthday today. So it's all a good one. And Natasha Menon, big welcome. Just come in, say hello. Let's bounce over to Christina Nava. I want to say, Christina Nava, I love your unique perspective. Tell us what you think. What are some of your reactions to some of the cool stuff you've heard? What is going on in the amazing mind of Christina Nava? Unmute and let us know. Hit that unmute key, Christina.
Dear, forgive me. Thank you so much. I think everybody has very valid points, and each of our ideas are probably genuine to our experiences, as you all shared. I can say one thing that I tell every young person that I know, because it is so important that they find the person, their spouse or whoever they choose to spend their partner, to make sure that person is they're aligned. Again, I'm just going to go back and say aligned in our values, because when they're not, and then you have children, I mean, things get really out of hand. Yeah, it's really important that we just find, people in our lives that are, that lift us up, that do the things that, the right thing, I'm a rule follower. I try to follow rule, and the person I surrounded myself with is not, just polar opposites. And it's taken until I'm 48 years old to realize this. 48. I've wasted half my life. Yeah. I was 20 when I met him. So.
No way. Well,
it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. This isn't a therapy session. I'm just, I'm just sharing my thoughts.
Don't worry, Christina. It's all just between you and me and about 1,000 other people. So no one's going to see this, right? Just probably just 1,000 people have just heard you. Now, it's interesting, Christina. It's funny you say that. And Lassie wouldn't mind me saying this. Lassie and I both met later in life, right? And I totally get you. We both met later in life. And we didn't have any kids, or none of us were married. But yeah, it's sort of like we both reflected on saying, man, we've just had such not good partners till we met each other. So I hear you, Christina. As a guy I think Lassie and I did the similar thing, but you can always find love later in life. That bit I love.
That's great.
Oh my God, Christina, love you. Round of applause to Christina, and thank you for your rawness. And I don't believe you're 48. I believe you're lying to me on that one. No way you're 48. No. And we got Belinda Paris with us. Belinda Paris she's a global jet setter and career leader, and right now she's in regional Tasmania. Belinda Paris, what have you got for us, my friend?
A lot of what the ladies said really resonated with me, and it's probably only been in the last few years. And Christina, I'm I think a year younger than you, so it's just taken me most of my adult life to come to this conclusion as well. I've spent most of my life being very much the people pleaser, the empath, the rescuer, and it took up until yeah, probably the last 12 or 18 months for me to really set those firm boundaries in place. And it didn't come from I guess, a place of um, low self-esteem. It was more just the fact that I just saw these people and I thought they would be a project for me to be able to help. And I've now just realized that my time is way too precious, and my energy is too precious, for me to try to help everyone, and especially partners, or close people that I have in my life. So it wasn't until I really worked on who I was and what my boundaries were, but probably more importantly, what my values were. My values have changed quite a lot over the last few years. And for me, it's now about peace, harmony, and people who I feel resonate with me. So for me, I now have very, very strong boundaries. As soon as I can see that someone is being toxic in my life, I will address it with them. If it continues, then that's when I'm like, okay, sorry, but this obviously isn't working for either of us. So yeah, I think it's a lot of what everybody said. Yeah, it's just about having those strong boundaries, having that love and belief in yourself, and knowing what your values are, and sticking to them.
And just on that, what are some of the now big toxic behaviors are quite obvious, right? No one's going to be if someone punches you in the head or burns your house down, I would consider that toxic behavior, right? But Belinda, what are some of the subtle ones that you see? What are the little, let's say, minor red flags that come up? What are the things that tip you off, Belinda?
For me, it's things like, it can be actions, like for me, like, excessive drinking or things are massive red flags for me. But it's more in terms of personality traits. It's that negativity, and I very much look at things from, the glass is always, full as opposed to half full. So, it's not looking at it's people's outlook on life. And, most of us here are entrepreneurs. We're probably doing things that, you know, aren't necessarily going down the normal way of doing things. And people who, I guess, don't respect that, or think, why are you going off and doing something that's completely different? Why aren't you sticking to the traditional way of how you should be living your life? Well, sorry, that's my choice now. So for me, it's just that negativity, and it's that, to be honest, a lot of it comes through intuitively for me. It's just going, okay, is this person actually resonate with with my values and my beliefs? So it could just be the subtle digs, it could be the negativity, it can be the backhanded compliments. You just look at things, you go, you know what, life is way too short. I just want to be around people who are gonna, as I said, who are gonna lift me up, and mentors who are going to lift me up. Looking at one at the moment.
I couldn't agree with you more, and love your work, Belinda. Amazing. And one reaction I have to that's quite funny is of the people. I've done this with people, and Karen Clark and Simone Laund especially know I've got a bit of a trolling sense about me as well, and I don't, and I like to push back on people directly. And what it is that I find the people that tell you how to live your life, I've to their faces told them how to live their life. They can't handle it when it goes the other way. Have you seen that, Belinda?
Yeah, 100%. One of my friends called me the great white shark because she's like, you're just as even keeled as possible. But if someone comes after you, or you feel like you're the one who's being attacked, you have no problem in turning around and giving them a piece of your mind. And I try to do it from a place of respect. But yeah, I still won't suffer fools. I probably take it from my mother in that way.
Oh, Belinda, we love you. Round of applause to Belinda. Like you said, white shark. You are dressed in white too, so you're dressed to character. So you got the white shark. So the white shark plus the red is the blood of the toxic people you've chopped up. Dressed a character. Oh, I love your work, Belinda. And speaking of characters, Simone Lord. I can see Simone Lord. You can see like a kettle. She's boiling with all these ideas. Simone Lord, explode and tell us what you're thinking.
I am. It's hard to have to share the floor with everyone when it was just us last month, Ed, and I just got to talk for the whole hour, which was great. A reflection from me around how I identify toxic people is people who are victims, who are always thinking life is just so hard for them. I never have money, or my car's broken down all the time. My kids are always awful. Like people that constantly whinge, that are just like, oh, why me? Why is this happening in my life? That's your toxic people. They're the people that you just don't need that energy and that vibe around you. And for me, that's how I spot them straight away, just going, you know what? This is not someone, like we all have moments and we all have bad days, but when you notice as a consistent behavior and that negativity just going on and on and on, you just go, nah, I'm out of here. And something that someone said to me many years ago, a peer, and I'm not sure if this is a famous quote or just something she said to me in the moment, but she said to me that if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And that was just like that aha moment of me of who do I want to be around? Who do I want to learn from? Who can I build who I want to be in this sort of framework? And that could be a little bit tricky because then imposter syndrome kicks in as well, because you think, oh my gosh, what am I doing here with all of these really smart or affluent people or things like that? But if you can get past that part, then you know that you're working towards surrounding yourself with the people that you best want to be around, to aspire to be in your own way. And it's okay for your values to change and for you to grow as a person. I don't think you always have to stay to the same things. It will evolve with you as your journey does.
Oh, brilliant, you said. Love your work, Simone Lord, on point. And we've got Aisling Smith fans with us. Aisling, great seeing you. Old friend of mine. And Sonia Badro makes a good point. The winners versus losers. Winners focus on the solutions and losers dwell on the problem. Well said. I love it. Amazing. Incredible, Simone Lord. Karen Clark, can we get a monologue from you on everything you've heard? Like Simone Lord, you can see Karen Clark about to explode. Please hit that unmute key, Karen Clark, and let us know what you think.
Yeah, oh my gosh, how can I say anything? Everyone's brought up such relevant points. First of all, Christina, I just want to reach out to you and say I'm sorry you're going through that. Probably a lot of us have been through something similar. I certainly have had a marriage breakup with children. My children were 7 and 4. So, you know, it's a real tough time. I do understand. And so, yeah, I think Belinda said it, like all contributing amazingly pertinent points. Belinda, you said it's that subtle stuff. It's that, and this can happen, and that's why it can happen so gradually and gradually eat into us for a long, long time before we realize that, oh my gosh, this person is toxic. So it can be the little comments, the little put downs. And then if you address it with them, they may well say, oh, the gaslighting, when you address it, happens too. Oh no, I didn't mean that. Or oh, you're just being, you're just being ridiculous or whatever. And so this is so common. I hear this is so common in these days. We call it, the gaslighting, where people, and I wonder why they do it. It makes me wonder, why do people behave like that to other people when it is extremely a damaging kind of behavior? And I think, well, is it, some people have got a small person's disease. If they're a man, we talk about small man's disease, where they don't want that they don't have enough confidence because of their height and they have to put other people down all the time. And, you know, it's just like there are so many things that contribute towards a toxic behavior that it's about, actually, I really think it's about us being aware, like you said, Simone, and identifying it and having our boundaries or having what we're prepared to put up with, and then also our response. So if we decide that we're not going to let it affect us, if we do happen to receive some toxic behavior, and I said to Ed when we were talking about it, I'm going to quote Eleanor Roosevelt. And one of her quotes was, all the water in all the ocean, something like this, it's not perfect, exact, but all the water in all the oceans of the world cannot drown you unless you let it get inside you, or unless it gets inside you. And what she meant by that was, it doesn't matter what anyone says to you, unless you allow it to affect you negatively. And so the awareness thing is huge. It's like, well, how am I reacting to the way people are speaking? How am I reacting to what someone said to me? And I'm not going to let it affect me because it's our choice. This is our choice. Everything we think and every way we respond or react is our choice. It's all about our thinking. So there you go.
Just incredible. Love it. Round of applause to Karen Clark. And we're going to bounce over to Sonia Budrow in a second, who's amazing. And we talk about gaslighting. And I just want to check in with our fans. We've got Hemraj with us. Ashlyn, great seeing you, Phil. If you just come in, smash that like, sharing, comment, and please say hello. And another funny thing with me as well, and this is something that I'm right into, and a lot of people know it, is I'm not a toxic guy. However, whenever I deal with toxic behavior, I always deal with it the wrong way. I'm like, I'll out-toxic you, right? And it's bad, right? So to me, toxic people's like cocaine to me. If I see, it's like I'm a gambler walking past the casino. If I go in, I'm dead. So if I see a toxic person, I have to run the other way because I'll try and beat them. And I can actually always beat them out. So I can gaslight better than anyone. And the thing that I find funny about dealing with toxic people is they don't, and this is my funny hypocrisy with them, they don't like playing the rules by their own game, don't they, Karen Clark?
No.
So I'll take their rules. I'll take their rules and I'll play it better than them. But they're not too happy, aren't they, Karen, when you play the game by their rules, aren't they?
Not at all.
There we go. Anyway, but I got to stay away from toxic people because I've got a problem there. Karen Clark, love your work. There we go. Now, Master Coach Sonia Budrow, tell us what you're thinking. Please give us a legendary monologue, Sonia. Love to hear your thoughts.
Since we're on gaslighting, toxic behaviors, you know, when you're in a relationship, whether it's professional or personal, you know, if you're going into that with good intentions and you're being positive and trying to make it work, you know, and the other person's not doing anything to make it easier, it's basically like communication's a two-way street. And if you're the one that's always doing and communicating and making things easier for your relationship and working your fingers to the bone, trying to get everything, you know, to be done on time and be successful, and you still have that person just, you know, like, just think of a big giant just, you know, yelling at this little small person, and it's like you just keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and then you've lost yourself because you are so, your body's now reacting to what you might anticipate they might do or say next. And so you're just, you have anxiety, or you might have a hard time breathing, or, you know, you feel your heart racing, or you might, you know, feel sick, you know, like you don't want to go to work, or you don't want to go home because of the toxicity in a relationship that's happened. And I know with personally in relationship, I had a husband who was very abusive, and I'm just always such a genuine, nice person, and I always want to try to find the solution and make things work. And, you know, and I kept trying and trying and trying, and I was like determined to make it work. But, you know, I realized it takes two to make it work, or it takes a team to make it work. not just you. And when you put a lot on yourself, you're breaking down your body, and it's going to affect your health, especially stress. That's one of the reasons that I left the state government when I worked in HR, is because I had several members on my team who were gaslighting me every day. I had a boss who was the same way and toxic, and I almost had a heart attack and died. And I'm like, no job, no boss is worth my life. And so I really almost learned too late. And so anybody out there, if you're in a situation that is hurting you, not helping you, then you need to really sit down and make a list of all the pros and the cons in that relationship. And if there's something that you can solve, that you can flip it to be good and positive, great. But if you can't, you need to walk away so you don't get your body so so in that fight, flight, or freeze syndrome. Because if you do, your body's going to give out on you one day. And and we have a lot to live for. And so it's just, even people who are nice like me are like the number one targets of the bullies and the gaslighting, because you want to please and do a good job. And it's all about taking care of you. Make yourself first, because if you don't take care of you, they're not going to care if you're there today or tomorrow or in the future. So I learned that the hard way. So that's kind of where I'll leave it at.
Master Coach Sonia, brilliant, just incredible. And I'm glad you're totally with us. And I saw a great quote, it was on LinkedIn actually. It said that the only people, it was basically talking about overwork, and it says the only people who are going to remember all the long hours you did at the office are your kids 10 years later. And I thought, I like that one. There you go. Very, very, very true. Very true. Let's bounce over to the legendary Georgina Orchard. Georgina Orchard, love your work. We've got Dr. D hacking with us. Dr. D, great seeing you. Georgina Orchard, please give us a monologue. Tell us what you think. We love hearing your thoughts, Georgina Orchard.
There's so many relevant points that everyone's put together. Belinda, Christina, Simone talked about, having people around that really kind of drag you down. Karen, I really agree. Sonia, I'm sorry that you went through that. I think there's an element of us that get affected by people's opinions, but it gets down to our self-worth. And I was just reflecting that it's probably the boundaries that we put in place. We need to put those boundaries in place that protect us. And so, sometimes that's where we remove ourselves from that toxic relationship. I think most of us have been through a divorce here by the sounds of it, bar a few of you, so I don't want to include everyone in that. But yes, you do have to do what is important for you. But the first thing that we could do is actually lift up our self-worth. And I've done a lot of work with archetypes and different things. So we all have the victim within us, but it's how we choose to use it. Karen talked about choice. When we realize that it's all about choice, I think we start to change how we view things. So I know the kids, when they were at primary school, the teachers started talking about how that you view it. So instead of viewing it as that person as being a bully, it's viewing it that person is just reflecting what's going on in their own environment, really, and they're trying to project that onto you. So once you start to view it as that is that person's projection, rather than what's going in your own environment, if you understand that, if you're doing the right thing, and that you're looking after yourself. But it's really important, and I noticed that, depending on the personality type, we did this Ruben Gretchen personality type, and there's like the obliger, and then a few other ones. If you're the obliger type, then you're going to try and please people. And I know from my history, I'm more of an obliger. So if someone said, "Oh, can you help me?" I'd say, "Yep, I can help you." But sometimes I would do that at the expense of my own boundaries and, looking after my situation. So now I've learnt that, that's an element of kind of you kind of overfunction in that sort of element. So when you realise more about your personality and get to know yourself a little bit more, then you can actually put some of those boundaries in place that can protect you. And then you can really take the people that are really not looking after you, or more kind of, they're looking after themselves more so rather than thinking about other people. You can take those people or put them to the side. You don't have to put them out of your life completely, because we're all part of a community and we all have strengths and weaknesses, but you can actually move them to the side and move on with your life.
Oh, well said, Georgina Orchard. Love your work, my friend. Incredible. Now, just to let you know, we're down to our last 10 minutes. And in the last 10 minutes, we finish with this great section. So we get all our panelists to give their closing thoughts and then tell us a bit about what they do. So it's an opportunity for them to say hello or even sell themselves if they want. We love selling around here. So we're up to closing thoughts. So please give us a closing thought on the whole topic. You are who you surround yourself with, and tell us a bit about what you do. And we're going to finish up in now 9 minutes. Christina, Neva, please tell us. We'd love to hear your closing thoughts, my friends, and tell us a bit about you. And hit that unmute key so we can hit you loud and clear. Unmute away.
Thank you so much. My closing thoughts are basically, I'm going to echo what Simone and a lot of the other ladies said. It comes down to choices. It's all about choices and, our self-worth, the bottom line. It's what we will tolerate. We can teach others how to treat us by what we'll accept. And ironically, I'm a relationship coach, and I work with autistic families and children, and hope to build a rec center for autistic children one day.
Amazingly noble, Christina. Love your work. And I just want to say thank you for your rawness as well. As someone who found love later in life, I totally hear you. I spent some years with, a character who put the N in the word narcissism. So that's all I can say. So, Christina, we're right with you and love your rawness. Everyone send Christina maximum love. And oh my God, big thank you. Love your work, Christina. Now let's hear from Belinda Paris. Belinda Paris, please give us your closing thoughts and tell us a bit about what you do. Over to you, Belinda Paris.
Thank you. Look, I think it comes down to self-love and self-worth and knowing your boundaries and not being afraid to speak up when someone's crossed them. So, love this conversation. And I know most of us probably could have gone for the whole hour just on our own if someone had pulled the ripcord and let us go. But in terms of what I do, so I'm a career coach. So I help my clients with professional branding and career coaching to help them land their dream job in 90 days or less.
And you excel at that, Belinda. Love your work. Round of applause to Belinda Paris. Make sure you connect with her. Belinda Paris is an amazing lady. And it's funny. Last time it was just Simone and I last time on the panel. So it literally was Simone and I. And for me, it was just me doing boss ladies myself for 10 minutes. Then Simone came in. It was a funny day actually. Everyone had crazy stuff happen to them. No one's fault, right? But Simone, great having you with us. Please give us a closing thought and tell us a bit about what you do.
My closing thought would just be to do what you feel is right unapologetically. So don't feel you need to apologize because you don't want to surround yourself with someone or you choose a different path to what people feel might be the best road for you. So I had a corporate career in accounting and finance, and a quite successful one, but I hated it. I was so miserable in my day to day. And when I left and I wanted to enter the fitness industry, my family were devastated. They felt like I was just throwing away this great career to be, you know, an entrepreneur and in fitness and all these sorts of things. So it's quite challenging to overcome the people that are closest to you not really agreeing with where you're at in your life. And one of the biggest things for me was finding the right mentors to help me navigate the path of business. And that's kind of where it's led me where I am today, that I do a mixture of things. I am still a business owner. However, I'm the program designer for Christian Lavolsi and Adrian Lee. And some of the people on this call today have experienced what I get to do behind the scenes in helping people overcome the pitfalls that I did when I started business. And particularly the course that we're running at the moment is for sales and marketing. So it's really helping people, not just with setting up ads and things like that, but understanding the fundamentals of business so you can get that message across and get your passion across. So that is what I'm working on at the moment. So if anyone needs any help with their sales or marketing, or is just wanting to surround themselves with a really cool community of people that will help you in business, please DM me. I'd love to have a chat.
And Simone Lord, we love you. Round of applause to Simone Lord, you are a powerful lady. Karen Clark, please give us a closing thought and tell us a bit about what you do. Over to Karen Clark.
Yeah, wonderful, ladies. I'm impressed with all of you and your closing thoughts and what you do. And so on that note, I'm going to flip things a bit and say, we get what we give. So even though we have toxic people and we're having this discussion, if you want more love, you give more love. If you want more of anything, you actually give more of it. And so what I would say is be the person you want to be surrounded by, and then you'll attract that person. So what I do is I'm a quantum and business coach, and I work with people with regard to mindset, our thoughts, and the energetic frequency that we operate at, and the quantum realm and quantum physics and the universal laws, and how it works for us, how we actually are contracted into it all the time and we don't realize it. So you can't contract out of the universal laws any more than you can contract out of the law of gravity. And so I help people to understand how it all works and how we actually produce and receive the results that we get by our thinking.
Oh, brilliant. I couldn't agree with you more, Karen Clark. We give what we put out. Couldn't agree with you more. So there you go. Love it. Master Coach Sonia Budrow, please, love to hear a closing thought from you and tell us a bit about what you do, Sonia.
I would like to just tell everyone out there that you matter. You are worth the effort, and every day when you get up and you look in the mirror, you tell yourself you matter. You are worth it. And that, my mantra is to be your own hero. Tell yourself you're your own hero. And, you carry yourself that, in a positive manner and confident, and, know that you might be making someone else's day. And, those toxic or negative people, it's time to get the shovel out and shovel them out of your life, because they're occupying space in your life that you want to surround it with love, positivity, and people who are going to nurture you, care for you, encourage you, and empower you. And that's another thing is, step into your greatness. And if you don't know what your greatness is, then this is a time to explore that. And and that I'll segue into, I'm a certified master coach, and I help people. I certify them as a life coach. I teach a program, and then I also focus on professional branding, career strategies, helping people through the whole career cycle. And I focus on identifying their blind spots, so that way they know how to overcome those and and be able to have a clear vision on what they want to do in life and where they want to go. And so, the people I work with are, anyone that is stuck in their career, they're not sure what to do. But my specialty is military transition civilians and veterans and military spouses, because I live in Florida in an area where there's, a lot of retirees here. So I just would like to say, keep tuning in to Boss Ladies. We're going to have different people that are going to attend, but I hope that you have some really great takeaways from today, and share it with your friends.
Master Coach Sonia, brilliant and love it. And last but not least, the amazing Georgina Orchard. Please give us your closing thoughts, Georgina, and tell us a bit about what you do.
I love everyone's closing thoughts. All very relevant. I guess there's a quote, and it's an NLP quote, and it says, "We're all doing the best we can until we know better." So when you know better, you can do better. So you can make better choices. I'm a business consultant. I have an accounting and systems implementation background. I'm also a certified NLP master practitioner. So I help people with the numbers, but also with the mindset for business. And if you're a startup, or even if you're in a mature business, I can help with all the different elements of business, having run some more small businesses and been worked in tax and accounting and systems for quite a long time. So thank you very much for today. I hope everyone's got some value from today, and with all the different points about, boundaries and self-worth and removing toxic people. It is what Karen said, it is what you project and what you think. So if you be that person that you want other people to be. Thanks, Ed. You're on mute.
I made the unmute mistake. There you go. Anyone can do it. It's crazy. It's just like, there we go. There we go. Remember that bit on Wayne's World, how they try to order something, they deliberately go, "Can I please get a fillet fish?" There you go. Feels like that. But friends, thank you for a great summit. It's been great having you with us. If you are watching the recording, please smash that like, share, and comment. Connect with these powerful ladies. And also a big thank you to Lassie. It is Lassie's birthday today, so make sure you send Lassie. So send Lassie lots of love. Got her flowers right next to me, her two children in front of me, and it's all crazy. And so it's Lassie's special day. So big thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Keep staying awesome. And remember, empowerment starts with us. Love your work, everyone. Have a great day or night. Appreciate you. Bye.
Bye.